Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Arsenal News Now. And in this one, we might discuss some stories that are very exciting, including Lucas Paqueta. Edu is working to sign Lucas Paqueta, although Mikel Arteta and a couple of other huge figures in the staff room are really big fans of Yuri Tillemans. Edu is a big fan of Lucas Paqueta and also the Brazilian connection as well. So he's working to sign Lucas Paqueta as the next central midfielder at Arsenal. Again, more stories in France. They're confirming that the player's price is dropping from 80 million, from 80 million euros to around 40 million euros. We talked about this yesterday, and I felt it was not making any sense. We talk about Paul Torres replacing Gabriel Magalhaes. That is where the podcast is gonna go sour. Paul Torres is lined up as one of the few replacements of Gabriel Magalhaes if a top club pays an undeniable fee for Gabriel Magalhaes. That is according to Fabrizio Romano on the Here We Go podcast. We'll talk about Bona Sosa as well, and we'll also talk about Ben White as well. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video to 800 likes. Subscribe to the podcast. We're very close to 55,000 subscribers. And of course, in the comment section, talk to me. Let me know. I'm going to ask you two questions. One, which player do you think should and can replace Gabriel Magalhaes in the Arsenal backline if we're going to go outside the market? If we're going to go externally, if we're going to go to buy someone to replace Gabriel Magalhaes, can you mention some defenders for me? Because personally, I'm struggling. Probably later today, I will do my research and find a few left-footed centre backs, but I really struggle to find a replacement of Gabriel Magalhaes. So talk to me. And then, how much should we be selling? How much should Arsenal be asking for? How much is undeniable? All that in your opinions in the comment section. I need that. I need to hear from you, lads. But anyway, 800 likes. Hit that button. Let's get into it. Let's start off with Alexander Zinchenko's medical. Now, it was said by Fabrizio Romano that the player is going to be having both sets of his medicals this week. That is the first sets of the medicals and also the second. Now, according to Romano, by the way, I was not very, very sure that players, especially Arsenal, holds two sessions of medical tests, but it does, according to Fabrizio Romano. Every player we've signed this summer has undergone two sets of medicals, and I just got to know that from Fabrizio Romano. So he says this week you're expecting two sets of medicals, but more information is indicating that the player is going to be flying from the Manchester City camp to the Arsenal camp later today, and will have the first set of his medicals today. And Arsenal trying to wrap up this very, very early. They want him to take part in the US tour and play against Chelsea, because I don't think I'm not really sure he will play against Orlando City. That game comes in. It does come in to. Does it? It comes in today, right? Or tomorrow, right? It comes in tomorrow, so he will not be able to play against Orlando City. The deal will not be done, but Arsenal are wrapping it up very, very quickly so that he can actually play against Chelsea in our last game of the USA tour. So medicals, the first part of the medicals are expected to be done today. The player will fly from the Manchester City camp to the Arsenal camp. Do not ask me about arguments. That one is done and dusted. 30 million plus 2 million euros in bonuses. 4-year contract also agreed by the player. Now, the real story of this in this video is about Paul Torres and Gabriel Magalhaes. Now, according to Fabrizio Romano, he's one of those journalists that are still very, very confident that top clubs are interested in Gabriel Magalhaes at the moment. And what is scary is that he believes that if a top club comes in with an undeniable fee, then Arsenal will sell Gabriel Magalhaes. Now, at the moment, I would love to say that we only know of 3 clubs interested in Gabriel Magalhaes, and the 2 are actually not that serious. So the only club that I know of interested in Gabriel Magalhaes at the moment is Juventus. They are the club that really are pushing to sign Gabriel Magalhaes, and they value the player at around 40 million £40 million. Of course, they've sold Manchester late to Bayern around €90 million, and they want to find a replacement £40 million for a backup, not really for a backup centre back, but for a replacement to Manchester late. In my opinion, that would be very, very good business on the side of Juventus. But we need to talk about this very, very carefully. First and foremost, Romano says top clubs are interested in Gabriel Magalhaes, and if an undeniable fee arrives, Arsenal will sell him and they will go and sign Pau Torres. Now, let's forget the Pau Torres side, because we have also been linked with Edmond Tapsoba. We've been linked with Calvin Bassey as well, who's now signed for Ajax as well, right? So let's talk about what is undeniable. Gabriel Magalhaes, what is undeniable, right? So we know, according to Dimasio, that Arsenal's resolve is going to be tested by Juventus, but Arsenal are 100% strong on their resolve, and their resolve is 100% strong, and they still claim they are not selling. They do not have any plans. They're not in preparation to sell Gabriel Magalhaes. However, if an offer comes in, if an undeniable offer comes in, then we will sell. So the question is for Gabriel Magalhaes, what is undeniable? £40 million. We brought him in at €27 million, I think, plus some add-ons, which should be around €30 million. That is around £25 million. So he has spent 2 seasons at Arsenal, and trust me, he is our best centre back at the moment. Forget William Saliba, forget Ben White, forget any other player. Gabriel Magalhaes is the most important player in that back line. So selling him, it should command a heavy fee. It should command a fee that absolutely is out of this world. In my opinion, if Arsenal feel like they cannot resist, it should be in the region of £60 million and above. Now, I know many of you are going to tell me, Cossy, £60 million is even not enough. £60 million is small money. But I think Arsenal will think about it in this way. They've spent some money this summer, and if they can get £60 million, they can eventually redo a Gabriel Magalhaes situation. They can get £30 million and place it onto the table for Villarreal, for Pau Torres. I'm not really sure if that would be really enough, but they can also go for Edmond Tapsoba, another high quality centre back, and try to sign him. But in my opinion, honestly, I think we should be able to resist any bids from Juve. Although I think Fabrizio is trying to push this and trying to keep it alive because it's an Italian club, and we know how much he loves Italian football, the Italian Serie A, Juventus, and the Italian, and the Italian, I don't know, everything Italian. He loves everything Italian. And look, you don't blame him because he's Italian. So you don't blame him. You don't blame him. You've seen him very, very positive when reporting about Manuel Locatelli going to Juve, reporting about Dennis Carrier going to Juve, reporting about Dusan Vlahovic going to Juve. He's been absolutely very positive. I don't find any other credible sources on Gabriel Magalhaes that Arsenal will sell him. And I also don't find any other credible sources indicating that Pau Torres will be lined up as a replacement. So let's talk about then Pau Torres as a replacement. I think Torres is a very clever centre-back, highly rated, young, and I think he's a top centre-back, right? So Villarreal would ask for around €50 million. In my opinion, the highest will be €50 million, but the lowest will be around €45 million as well. I don't think they're going to let him go for cheap. I don't think they will just let him go just because Arsenal have lost the centre-back. So, do I agree with Pau Torres signing for Arsenal? No, I don't. He's a quality centre-back. I love him. Spurs have been trying to sign him for ages. Man United have been trying to sign him for ages. And I think with all those top clubs wanting him, there must be a reason. But I think how solid Gabriel Magalhaes is, how strong, how aerially able he is, and how, the kind of centre back that has fit in very well. You might not remember that he's a newcomer at Arsenal. He's fitting. We've seen him become a leader in that Arsenal backline in the past season, and the reason is, he's become comfortable. He's become, yes, we know at times he can lose his head, and many Brazilians do, by the way. So the fact of losing his head, I don't even care. I absolutely don't even care. He must be untouchable. He really must be untouchable. I will think about a few replacements, but I'm not guaranteeing anything that I'll come up with a good list. I'm only saying if we sold him, I'll try to think about a couple of names, but not anything beautiful, not any names that are fancy, and not any sure deals. Because, I don't know, there are not so many guys. There are not so many times that you will go and sign a player from Lille Metropole at £25 million, and they have eaten them that they can become, a legend. Because for me, Gabriel Magalhaes can become an Arsenal legend. He can. If he can play in that centre back line, in that back line for 10 years, guide Arsenal to winning the first Premier League in almost 2 decades, guide Arsenal to winning the first Champions League, guide Arsenal to winning the first Europa League, guide Arsenal to so many things, there is no way he doesn't become an Arsenal legend. But I think it feels like I'm desperate, but I think I am. I'm absolutely desperate. I cannot think about us losing such a talent. I cannot think about it. And I hope Arsenal's resolve, legs, stance, heart, might is as strong as it has been reported. Because if it's not that strong, if he leaves for £40 million, I'll be disgusted. I'll be disgusted. But that's it, according to Romano. The other story I want to talk about is Bona Sosa. Arsenal interested in Bona Sosa. We are fighting for the signature of the player with Manchester City. He's a left back at VfB Stuttgart in Germany. Now, I think this one doesn't make any sense now, does it? Manchester City are preparing their official bid for Marco Kurela. Arsenal have signed Alexander Zinchenko. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, it doesn't. Ben White is also back in training. I've told you about that. He missed the first game against Everton. William Saliba played in that one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. By the way, so Ben is back. Ben is back in full training. Arsenal released their All or Nothing trailer. I think, is it what? Season 2, episode 2. I don't watch those things. I just hate them. Honestly, I hate all Nothing. But this one has a part where you will be watching Mikel Arteta dethroning Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang or stripping Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang of the captaincy. So you better watch it. It looks like it's interesting. So watch it. I've just given them an ad. Now, Lucas Paqueta, more reports are still claiming that Paqueta's price is dropping. Now, the ridiculous ones are saying that it's 40 million euros now. The most sensible ones are saying that he could go from 40 million pounds. Edu wants the signing. Many people at Arsenal want Yuri Tielemans. Many Arsenal fans want Yuri Tielemans, but Edu wants Lucas Paqueta. I mean, Romano has said keep an eye on that one, so we will keep an eye on it. Let's wait and see what is going to happen out of there.